So, where do I get my ideas? Yes, you could probably see through my glasses. There's a tripod behind me, but I can't help if I'm legally blind a little bit. So, there's that. Uh, uh, most of my ideas typically come from shows that I watch or books that I read. Kind of like anybody else. Is not really special. What I really like to do sometimes is like maybe watching a fantasy show or reading a fantasy book, and then there might be like a little point or a little, explanation of the history, whether it's like a superpower, like a very little out of the way point that most authors typically pass by, and then I like to form a premise around those. Or I would like to take the entire premise of a show that's already on, but then put a little twist to it. Like how would I do this, show or something like that. But most times, ideas usually hit me out of nowhere. First it starts off as a scene, right? Like my stories always start off as a scene, and that one scene is typically the moment that the character realizes what they need to do in the story. You know, and it would typically go from a scene to like maybe two or like three scenes, and then those three scenes are like each the pivotal moments of what would happen in the story. So if I get scene A, right, which is like smack dab in the middle of the story, then all I gotta do is go, okay, what's something before that needs to happen, and then what's something after that needs to happen, and then that's kind of how the story will percolate, and it'll just sit there. Sometimes I start writing right away. Sometimes, the story sits there for a little bit until the thing gets fleshed out, and that's how like I come up with my ideas.